Okay guys, I'm just going to do a quick demo for the easiest way to test BambuSend right now since it's not yet inserted, and then I'll go over some of the new features and functionality that's incorporated with basically the development and QA build that can help streamline some of our processes during the development process, but a lot of these features won't be available to the general public. So first thing I want to go over just how to basically get the MyBambu app. So let me get the link here. Actually, let me find from the actual deployment. Okay. So let's not use localhost. So this is the link actually coming from the deployment. So this is the formal link that we'll be using. And I'll post this along with the video. So once we navigate there, something you can do is you can export and then go to add to home screen and then hit add. And then you have an icon, you have a web app that'll always go to the link, and you should always get the latest version of the app through that link. So we'll constantly be updating it. So with that said, I just want to kind of discuss some of the general functionality that we have in the app now. So this top header bar for development and QA purposes for the time being has some master control options. If you long press it, basically there's just some development tools. So this is going to be mostly for other developers, but like show CMT keys will let us see the actual keys for where the translations belong. But that can also be useful for QA if they need to tell us to change text somewhere. They can use that toggle to see what that text is. And the app still works in this mode, but it just replaces all of the translated text with the key that's associated with it that we use in the CMT or the content management tool. Another new feature that was added is edit text mode. So this actually allows for QA or anyone for the time being to go in and edit text wherever it's wrong. So I think I would have to find an example. But basically each of these purple boxes, if you just long press it, it will allow you to change it. So I'll just do a demo here. So let's change this to create Bambu account 1 and save. So what this does is it'll upload it to the CMT and then refresh the app. So now everyone who's using the app, for English at least, will see this BambuSend account. And then at any point to turn it off, you can go to the edit text mode there, or you can just press the button down here and turn it off, and then see the app as normally is. So that'll be just a way to quickly be able to change or even test different wording to see how well it fits with the current implementation and things like that. So I felt like I would demo that, but now since we've shown that, I want to go ahead and change it back real quick. So let's go here and change here. But this goes hand in hand with the functionality that Max and the team had developed for the CMT, which was brilliant. So I just tied it into that existing functionality to just kind of streamline the ability to not only locate the text that needs to be changed, but then just go ahead and edit it. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's exit this edit text mode. So now that we understand how that works, something else that I've added is if you just double press. So double tap the top header bar, and I apologize, I don't have it showing the mouse clicks, but I just double tap the header bar and it immediately populates all the fields with accurate, validatable values. So, you know, there could be other inputs that wouldn't be valid if we tried manually typing it, but if you're trying to quickly access a screen further down in the flow, you can just double click the top and it'll populate that screen. You can go create account, and then same thing here. So if we could go through and manually enter these things, which someone in QA definitely should manually go in and test all of these buttons and make sure the validations are correct. But once they're tested, in order to, kind of quickly proceed through the app, just double click the top, hit continue, double click the top, hit continue, and now it's doing the enrollment, so it takes a little bit longer. But so that's just, a little trick or something I added that'll just help make it much faster to be able to navigate and test various functionality in the app. Now, another thing that we've added, or that's available, if you don't feel like double clicking and tapping to go all the way through the whole flow, the entire map of the navigation process is here. So if we just wanted to drill into, let's say, the manual entry address form on the first flow, it'll navigate back to there and allow you to just go straight to it. So we skipped that on the first one because we entered an address, but if I hit back, we can see where that would have been. So that would have been down here, edit address. This is the manual address entry, and it also auto-populates when we double tap the header. So let's do that and continue. Okay. Yeah, we're getting above there. Let me just reopen. Let's investigate that. Okay, so another useful tool is if you have like started populating all the fields, they get stored in local memory. So if you just want to clear cache to get the app back to a standard state, you can go here to clear cache, and then it should clear everything and bring you back to the home page and basically eliminate any stored values. And so I wanted to demo that. Then there is also this translation sync check that I leave on, but there may be a reason to turn it off. But basically that gives us a way to confirm or see if someone has changed translations on the CMT. And in order to make the app run smooth, if translations get changed on CMT, sometimes it can take a second for that content management tool for those translations to get imported. So there might be a slight flicker or something. So let's say, let me just do a quick example to explain that in detail. Let's go to content management tool. Okay, so this is where the amazing work that Max and team did for managing the languages. The English. Okay, so let's find that header field. No. Okay. So this is where I would use this feature to find out what the translation tag is. So show CMT keys. Create account title. So let's find create account title. Okay, and so now if I want to change this, let me turn this off. Okay, so now create account title. So if we wanted to edit this in the CMT, let's say we just wanted to call it, and I'll save this in my local history, but let's say we wanted to call it create account and just save, which I think is approximately equivalent to the Spanish. So now let's just reload. Let me close this file again. Okay, so it immediately updated to create account, but it was supposed to show. Maybe I'll have to demo that another time. I did do work on that recently, but basically it would notify developers with a little indicator down here that there's now a translation change on this content management tool that isn't in the local translation on the app. And basically that'll just make us, allow us to keep it in sync. But let me go ahead and save that. And then unfortunately there's no, I do need to add a refresh button. Right now we'll do clear cache. I'll just do a swipe refresh in the future. I think actually the refresh CMT would have done it as well. But anyway, so we can see any changes done to the language is immediately observed in the app. So that's a lot of the text-based modifications. Now I want to show just some other tools, and this is going to be mainly targeted towards developers. I hate that I can't enlarge this. So, going to that same link, and I'll post this in the video. Well, actually, let me find out which one it was. I think it was this one here. Okay. So that takes us to the main screen. It does redirect based off of that navigation path that I mentioned. So now I'll show this tool that I think can be useful for actually developers, QA, and for a number of purposes. And I plan on expanding on this and adding it to Bamboo Pay and any other web app functionality, and eventually React Native. So it's the ticket tracker dashboard. And basically this gets loaded. So this does also have the quick navigation available here if you ever wanted it. I guess you could just copy the link, or you could just navigate to any page from here. So same navigation that was in that little toolbar I showed you. But now if we delve into the project, and I like shrinking this up a little bit, we can see for every ticket, so this first ticket, which is Web 41, they have uploaded 4 Figmas, and I haven't refreshed the Figma designs yet, so I'll demo that in a separate video. But basically that involves going to the admin tools, and basically what it does is it'll re-download all the JIRA tickets and all of the associated Figmas. It takes about 5 minutes, but you can, and I'll just quickly show it, but you can choose a filter type that's standard to JIRA. So you could, say current user, me, or you can do like by sprint, and the list will populate. But I have to do some modifications to that. But then you'd go to the Figma links tab, and then you'd go to the data tab. So it's a little bit of a process, mostly going to be for developers. But the idea is you could filter for your own personal tickets, so whatever you're working on, and you could use this tool, actually in theory, not just for the web apps. I mean, anyone could use this tool if they wanted to be able to validate Figmas versus live implementation. So on the right, this is the path to the live implementation, but on the right we'll always see the actual live implementation. So since I haven't updated the Figma yet, it's showing the old Figma logo. But the concept is about the same. You can quickly review fields and see, okay, is it about the same size? Is there coloring off? Is our wording different? So it's just a way to quickly go through and modify and update values. Now note on this live view, you get all the same functionality. So you can turn on edit text, and then you could go in and edit text to match exactly what it says in Figma. I think this screen for the most part already has that matching, so let me turn that off. But let's see, maybe there's one further down that doesn't, or has a slightly different wording. Okay, and here's another good thing to note about using that tool is either the show CMT or the edit text mode, and I'll just put them both on. But we see how we see text here and not an actual path to a translation. That means we need to add, although actually it's not present in the Figma, so we may not need to add this. But if we ever encounter text that doesn't have a key associated with it, it's just a very quick way to visually inspect. So see, all of these have keys, but then look, we see a little text here that doesn't have a content management key, which means this is hard-coded, so we need to go in and add a key and make sure that that gets translated. So let me go ahead and turn off this edit text mode. Oh, and let me go ahead and turn off the show CMT keys. And okay, so now that's basically all I really wanted to demo. Since there are multiple Figmas, you could quickly, if you wanted to compare this failure state, you could go in here and 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. And okay, so I'm already, oh, I think it has to be on continue. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, so I've already gotten, kind of incorrect wording, or not matching exactly the Figma, but the idea is you could go to all the different screens associated with a certain ticket, and then basically do live editing and updating. And then right now I have this checkbox disabled because this is all associated for my personal user, so I populate these, but this can be repurposed for any user with a little modification. But that is basically what I wanted to show, and the idea is, so I extract an acceptance criteria from all the Figma tickets, and for that I use AI. I just have Claude create the acceptance criteria list. They're pretty well defined already, but that's one semi-manual process that I'll script out. But that gives us a way to basically go through every element in the ticket, see if it's completed, or add notes about why it can't be completed, or just general information, and then that can actually be submitted directly to the JIRA ticket. But I haven't built that out yet. So anyways, that's basically what I wanted to demo and just kind of show some available options and just some general work that I'm on. I would go into more technical, into the code about how it's all saved, but basically for developers, it's all saved in this dev dashboard data.json. So that just ensures that as the developer's working, their progress gets tracked and actually checked into GitHub for this ticket tracker feature. And I think that's just a nice add-on that the code always has correspondent progress and the ability to compare and contrast the Figmas directly to the images. So that's all I wanted to demo. Thanks for the time. Sorry it's such a long video, but you guys have a good day.